Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. I am Safin FM, and today's tactic is a true homage to Pep Guardiola and the Manchester City squad. It is called, and I got this from Steam again, because Steam's starting to build up a little more again. So it is called the Control the World Pep Guardiola Total Football Era Dominate Possession Puzzle Finally Solved Erling Haaland Anger Edition. Whew! Basically, in the tactic itself, it's called the Pep Guardiola Madness of Erling Haaland, but it is by someone named Clashy. And there is a ton of text in the description on this. Starting out, turning possession into points, high pressing, dream team system of Pep Guardiola, Cruyff and Guardiola inspired tactic. Possession is not a romantic idea. Aim of possession is to concede less and create more scoring opportunities. And then it just goes on and on and on. And finally, in training, one model to use is 2 weeks tactical, 1 week ball control, and 1 week attacking per month. But this comes down to the analysis of your squad, periodic performance analysis of areas of your team, how they might struggle with, or what they might struggle with. Either it's low goal scoring ratio, poor passing, or lack of team movement and tactical understanding. So there's apparently a group for future tactics that he's got. But there's a ton of information. He's been using, it looks like PSG in some of the screens. So I'm assuming he's tried it out with Manchester City itself. But we're going to test it out with our three of Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves and see how they all do. But before we get into that, it starts out with a sweeper keeper in defend, inverted wingbacks on the left and the right, ball-playing defenders in defend, segundo volantes in attack, inverted wingers in support on the left and the right, and advanced forwards up front in attack. It is a balanced mentality. In possession, attacking with is standard. Approach play, pass into space, underlap in the left and right. Focus play down the left and right. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is higher. Low crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter distribute quickly and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much lower defensive line. That's a big midfield. Trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. So how did it do for our three teams? Well, sadly, not very well. Newcastle in 74th, which is fantastic for them in Champions League spots. Tottenham with 54 points, awful for them. They actually get Europa Conference League, so they won a trophy there. But Wolves, 52 points, not good at all. Chelsea getting Champions League. Wow, they must have won the Europa. But overall, Newcastle doing okay, fairly well. I should say. Tottenham and Wolves, awful. Newcastle sits on top of our three teams, so we start out with their schedule. Overall, the first 2 months, not too bad. I mean, only 3 losses in the first half of the season. Starting out the second, immediately against Tottenham, 1-2 loss in the Carabao Cup 4th round at home. And then you continue on FA Cup, you're out in the 4th round, 4-6 against your Manchester rivals. And then you finish off the season. You got some nice wins in there, some nice points, but last 2 months, that's a doozy. Tottenham starting out a little bit on the worst side. However, they've got a ton more games. So they do have, 5-6 losses in the first half of the season. Second half, you're continuing on in the Cups. Up until the FA Cup 4th round against Leeds, 1-2 loss there away from home. And then they actually win the Carabao Cup final 5-1 over Wolves. So 2 of our teams getting to that final, but hence the Conference League right there. The second half of the season, though, overall, not great. And you do see you lose out to Manchester City 0-2 in the Champions League quarterfinal second leg. They really didn't prioritize the Premier League at all. Wolves starting off the season, okay. I mean, you got plenty more losses there, but you do continue on in the Cups all the way down. We already know that they've gotten a loss against Tottenham, 1-5, in the Carabao Cup final. That just hurts. But FA Cup, you're continuing on until the 5th round, 0-1 against Manchester United. Overall, just not a good season whatsoever. I mean, you do get to a cup final, so I can't say it's awful, but overall, it's not good. Transfer-wise for Newcastle, no one really going out for any real amount of money. Coming in, George Long from Millwall for 130k and Pedro Gonçalves from Sporting for 41 million. Tottenham selling off Davinson Sanchez to Fiorentina for 13.5 and bringing in a ton. Luis Semedo from Benfica, Traore from Wolves, there you go. Rafael Rodriguez from Benfica, Daniel Malen from Borussia Dortmund, and then Eric Garcia from Barcelona on loan as well. Wolves, we already know, 33.5 million for Traore. They did bring in some players though. Macedo from Braga B, Paulinho from Sporting, and Barreiro from Mainz for 14.25. So how do our squads look for our three teams? Nick Pope with 43 appearances, as does Trippier. Botman with Newcastle, 42 appearances. Goal-wise, 29 for Isaac. He's injured. How long is he injured for? 4 to 8 weeks, so not great. 25 goals for Callum Wilson, and Schär with 11. Assist-wise, 19 for Almiron, Jolinton with 14, 12 for Callum Wilson, and then average rating 7.70 for Isaac, average rating 7.43 for Wilson, Almiron with a 7.21, Jolinton with a 7.10, and those are the only 4 players for Newcastle in the greens. I mean, you got a couple in the 6.9s and 6.8s, but still, not a good season overall, even if you come in Champions League spots. For Tottenham, Hugo Lloris with 56 appearances, Son and Kane with 49 plus 4 and 49 plus 1 apiece. Goals-wise, 30 for Kane, Son with 15, 13 for Richarlison. I mean, they've spread it out nicely. You got some 8s and 7, there you go. Assist-wise, nobody. Richarlison with 14, 12 for Son, and Kulusevski with 10. Average rating, again, not many players whatsoever, but again, Tottenham did not do well. Wolves is going to be even worse. Harry Kane only with a 7.27. God, that's awful. I mean, again, for a player who scores loads of goals, 7.27 is definitely on the low side of what I would want to see. 7.08 for Richarlison, and then 7.01 for Donyell Malen, the new incomer. 48 appearances for Wolves, Jose Sa, Nathan Collins with 47, and then 42.5 for Raul Jimenez. Goals-wise, 25 for Jimenez, Cunha with 18, and then 11 for Kalajic. Assist-wise, 11 Sarabia, Neto with 10, 9 for Cunha. Not a good season whatsoever. 7.31 is someone who's not there. Jimenez, 7.21, 7.12 for Cunha. Kalajic, 7.06. And those are the only 3 who are actually at the club in the green. Data hub-wise for Newcastle, shaky defensively, very good in attack, some very strong attacking numbers. If we look at Tottenham, okay defensively, good in attack, so less numbers, but still they're not too bad. And I know that Wolves are pretty much similar. Okay, both defense and attack, just lesser numbers. I mean, Tottenham and Wolves definitely don't deserve to be up there in the very good in attack section, but I mean, they've got some numbers. They're missing a couple here and there, though. Premier League stat-wise, Newcastle with most goals, 91. Definitely a low turnout this season for the Premier League. Fewest shots against, though, nobody. Most possession, nobody. Dribbles, Newcastle and Tottenham are up there, but not quite up there with Man City. Fewest conceded and fewest shutout, or most shutouts, Newcastle's in there. But Tottenham, Wolves, Newcastle finally picking it back up with tackles won. Unfortunately, no pass completion. Most shots for Newcastle and points per game, as you would expect. Most goals, Haaland with 40, but Isaac up there, Kane and Wilson up there, 21 all the way to 29. Not bad runs whatsoever. They just need to spread the love a bit more around. Most assists, Almiron with 18, a fantastic season there. Jolinton with 13, Son and Wilson with 11 apiece on the average side. Most player of the match awards, Isaac with 11, Callum Wilson with 6, again, somewhat average. Best pass completion, nobody. Nobody for most dribbles made. You got Nick Pope, Newcastle. There you go for the goalkeeper contributions. Tackles won, nobody. Trippier and Sarabia up there with most key passes. So, as usual, Sarabia a little lower than normal, though. Most shots, Isaac, and there you go. Overall, Newcastle did fairly well. We've seen better tactics, though. All in all, I mean, 77 points for Liverpool, winning the league. Manchester City was 75. The entire league did not do well at all. And our 3 teams with that tactic didn't excel at all. So use it for what you want. I mean, if you like that kind of tactic, that kind of shape, go right ahead and try it. If you're a Manchester City fan, try it out with your team and see how they do, because apparently it's geared directly for you. But with our 3 teams, not so much. But that is it for me, Seffian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.